Like, it's no thought put into it. It's no marketing put into it. But since they your family and friends, they gotta buy it. No, they don't. So we're gonna switch it up a little bit today, and we're gonna talk about makeup. So I started doing makeup in like 2014, but it started off as me doing my own makeup. Like, I used to watch YouTube just so I can learn how to do my own face. And you know, then I thought I was pretty good, but yeah, a lot of people kept asking me to do their makeup, and that's how I started. So I'm going to give you some advice that I feel like would be helpful, not just for makeup artists, but anybody with a service-based business. So let's get started.
Keep in mind that I'm an artist and I'm sensitive about money.
I feel like when you first start off in a service-based business, you have to be really comfortable with criticism, because you're going to start off practicing on your friends and family, and they're going to be like, oh girl, this is cute. But you have to keep in mind, they love you. Your clients don't love you. So when they don't like their makeup, or they don't like their hair or their nails or whatever it is that you do, or if you're a man and you do haircuts, if they don't like their haircut, you gonna run into somebody that's gonna tell you. And if you don't get yourself used to criticism, you're not gonna know how to handle it. You're gonna get in your feelings, and it's gonna be all bad. Don't be afraid of critical clients. You should invite people to be that transparent with you. Like, when I first started, after I got done, I would ask people, like, is there anything that you want me to change? Because a lot of people, they're not comfortable with critiquing you, because you never know how somebody's gonna handle it. So that was my way of like opening the floor, like, yes, tell me what you want me to change. Also, when I first started, I had a friend who was like really picky, and I knew she was like the perfect model, because I would do her makeup and I would be like, tell me everything you don't like. And she would literally sit there and piece by piece, she would tell me everything she didn't like. So it's like, then I knew, okay, these are the things that I probably need to practice on. And it's like, the more you deal with criticism, the less you take it to heart. Like, somebody tell me they don't like something, okay, I just fix it. It's not that big of a deal. Because criticism is how you grow. It's how you improve. Because if everybody's telling you your work is cute, how are you going to know what to step it up on? Because you always have to step it up. Oh my God, my family doesn't support me. My friends don't support me, blah, blah, blah. Let me tell you the truth about family and friends support. With all of these people in the world, it's pretty much insanity to dwell on if your family and friends support you. If they do, cool. If they don't, cool. It doesn't matter. You know who matters? Your target market. And I feel like most of the time when people complain about their family and friends not supporting their business or their brand, is because you don't know who your target market is. Some of your family and friends may not be in your target market. And then another truth that you may not be ready for, your family and friends may not like your work.
Clutch the pearls.
You know how, like, when I first started doing makeup, you know how many people I knew personally, whether they were friends, family, whatever, that knew I did makeup and they went to somebody else? I mean, sometimes they may not have thought about it, but it's like, I never was like upset about it. If anything, it was motivation, because I've never been the type that wanted people to support me out of obligation. I want you to come because you like my work. I want it to be to the point where even if you didn't know me, you would come to me because you like my work. If you don't like my work, I don't want you to come to me. And you like somebody else's work better, go to them. It's no hard feelings. We still can be cool. Business and personal is separate. Like, of course, there are certain instances where you might have haters and they don't want to support because it's you, but I promise you, I feel like that's more rare than people want to believe it is. A lot of times they just don't like your work. Because if you're just starting out, you're not the best. Let's say I had an auntie who was doing a photo shoot when I first started doing makeup. If she wants her makeup to be flawless for her photo shoot, why would she go to her niece who just started out? If your family and friends are not coming to you and you've never felt a hater vibe or anything from them, that's a clear sign that you need to step your game up. And that's how I took it when I would see somebody that I knew go to somebody else. And a lot of times, eventually they will come to you when you get better. Also, a lot of times your family and friends know when you just slap some stuff together. You know how many people start businesses and they just slap it together, like it's no thought put into it, it's no marketing put into it, but since they your family and friends, they gotta buy it. No, they don't. If you feel like your family and friends think you on some BS, step up that marketing. I feel like this whole, oh, my family and friends need to support me is a whole cop out of marketing. Because if you marketing right, you're gonna have so many people coming to you that you're not really gonna care if your family and friends come to you. I've had situations where I got effed over by a client. I've heard stories of other people who had situations where they got effed over by a client. Every single story, there is always one common denominator. Your boundaries are the problem. The main thing people complain about is people not wanting to pay your prices, people not wanting to book on a booking site, people coming late, people not showing up at all. All of these things that people complain about when they're in service-based businesses, it's not the client, it's you, because you don't have any boundaries. Once I tightened up on my boundaries, I don't deal with that type of stuff anymore. No. All that type of stuff always happens when you loosen up your boundaries. And that brings me to my point. Your prices and your policies are not for the client, they are for you. So that means once you set that price, keep it there for everybody. Once you set that policy, keep it there for everybody. Because once you say, oh, I'm gonna get her a discount, you opening yourself up for BS. When you are afraid to set boundaries with clients, it is because you have a scarcity mindset. You don't believe that you're gonna get another client. If that's not what you believe, that's what you're putting out into the universe. I don't care if you got one client that whole week, you have to carry yourself like you fully booked, period. So that means if that one client is trying to BS you and trying to say, forget your policy, no, keep your policy the way it is. Because I'm telling you, as soon as you get lenient, that's when you start dealing with the stuff that you don't want to deal with. If you have a price set in place and a policy set in place, and there's a client who's blatantly disregarding that, they're saying F you. Why are you bending your policies for somebody who's saying F you? Even with your prices, I noticed when my prices were like super low, people price haggle me a lot. And the reason people do that is because when your price is set too low, you're pretty much giving off the energy that you're not confident in your work. I always talk about in spirituality how negative situations are there to redirect you, and so are negative situations with clients. If you're getting negative feedback from your business, that means there's something in your business that you need to tweak. If your clients keep showing up late, that means you need to have a late fee. If people keep doing no-shows, that means you need to start requiring deposit. These people will play with you if you let them. It's so important, like if you're first starting out, you have to get to know other makeup artists, however you can do that, whether it's working in a shop, joining makeup groups, going to actual makeup classes. Find a way to have makeup artist friends. If you are in an industry, whether you're a hairstylist, makeup artist, whatever, and you don't have any other friends in that industry, there's so much you don't know. You don't even know what you don't know. When I first started out, I was working in a shop with all makeup artists. Rude awakening. I didn't even know what I didn't know. I learned a lot of the business side of makeup working there, I didn't know nothing about contracts. I didn't know what to charge. When I started going to makeup classes, I literally had to unlearn half the stuff I learned on YouTube. Like when you watch a real professional makeup artist do makeup, it's totally different. I literally wanted to throw everything I bought away and redo my whole kit. Makeup groups and makeup artist friends are so helpful because that's where you learn like the little underlying things about the businesses that nobody's gonna tell you. Another thing about having friends in your industry is like if you're just starting out and you don't have clientele yet, but you're friends with someone who has more established clientele, when they're booked, they might send you some of their clients. Also, when you get to the point where you're booked or there's a certain reason why you can't take a client, you don't have to just cancel people. You can just say, oh, such and such can do your makeup if you want to go to her. You know what I'm saying? So it makes it so much easier for you and your clients. They can put you up on events you may not have known about, classes you may not have known about, products you may not have known about. So it's very beneficial. Always have a contract. Put everything in writing. Because I cannot tell you how many times when I first started, I've been in situations where me and a client came to an agreement and they said, I ain't say that. So to avoid the confusion, contract.
Playing with my money is like playing with my emotions.
I feel like any job that you have to travel to, get your money before you leave the house. I've had so many weddings in my early career where they'll give me like a portion, like they'll pay like half up front. So you get there, you do the wedding. Weddings are, if anything, I feel like with a wedding, get all your money before you start. Get all your money before you leave the house, because you get there, you doing everybody's makeup or doing everybody's hair. Weddings are hectic. Everybody's moving around. Everybody trying to rush to get to the church. Oh, I gotta go to the ATM. Oh, such and such got your money. Oh, I was doing so much, I didn't even think about. Don't worry, I gotta have my money before I leave the house. It's really important to get out of the habit of trying to make everybody your client. You need to get super specific on what type of clients you want. Your target market is going to dictate everything you do. How you market your business, what opportunities you take or don't take. All of that becomes clear once you figure out who you're selling to. It's never a good idea to complain about your clients online. It almost always looks tacky. As a service provider, I feel like you have to have some level of confidentiality when it comes to you and your clients. But even if it's like stuff in general, I'm sick of people coming late, or I'm sick of people not doing this and not doing that, or you know, the announcement from this day forward, I'm not accepting people that do this. Like, it comes off very chaotic. It screams, I don't have control of my business. It screams, I'm unorganized. If you notice that clients are acting a certain way towards your business and it's time to update the policy, just update the policy. You don't have to vent online to social media. If you need to, join a group or something with people in your industry. That's where you're supposed to do it at. But don't just vent on your regular page to where potential clients are seeing you and it's coming off like wrong. Because it really just reflects back on you. It just makes it look like you don't have control over your own business. Once you have to tell people like, oh, I'm no longer doing this, it's giving, I'm trying to convince myself. Because you don't have to tell anybody, just don't accept it anymore. Because as soon as you announce that you're not accepting something anymore, I know you're accepting it again. This is what makes me cringe. The last thing you want to do is let people know that people don't want to pay your prices. Because if I was considering paying your prices, now I'm wondering, okay, why they don't want to pay? Should I not pay? People get online talking about my price is my price because I gotta do this, I gotta do that, and I gotta do this, and this costs money. Nobody cares. Your clients do not care what it takes to do what you do. You want them, I know you want them to care. Of course, I would like them to care too, but they don't. You don't get people to value your business by telling them all of the behind the scenes stuff. The way you get people to value your business is through your marketing, of course, along with your skill and your customer service. You can't skip those steps. It's not the client's responsibility to appreciate what you do behind the scenes, what you pay for behind the scenes. You can't cut corners on those main things and get mad that people don't respect you. If there's somebody who feels like, I'm not paying more than $100 for a purse, do you think Chanel is going to come to that person and be like, well, we use this type of stitching, we use this type of material, and try to convince them that their purses are worth more than $100? No, because they're marketing to their target market. There's people out here who will spend $10,000 on a bag. So why do they care about somebody who won't spend $100? So if you charge a certain price for your services, just market to the people who are willing to pay it. Stop coming online complaining about people who don't want to pay it, because it doesn't, and telling them what steps you take and what you pay for it. They don't care, because they don't find value in what you do, and they don't have to, and you don't need them to. Just market to people who do. So that's all I have for you guys today. Thank you for watching my video. If you have any more questions about becoming a makeup artist or any business questions, make sure you ask in the comments. Anything you want me to cover in my videos, put in the comments. And also, if you haven't already, go watch my first 2 videos, 11 tips on starting your spiritual journey and Angel Numbers Explained. See you guys next week.